Right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Manabu Yamada versus the most shredded man in all of Pancras, Frank Shamrock. Low kicks from Shamrock. Oh, he's still in that Jackie Chan sort of loose style of movement on the stand-up, which I love seeing. I don't know why, I really enjoy it. Good shot from Manabu Yamada on that kick from Frank, although Frank's hit a beautiful flower sweep, and Yamadu Manaba. Manabu Yamada has managed to stay on top. Frank briefly went to an arm triangle choke. Manabu's escaped that and now is in Frank's guard. And I'll tell you this, Frank had one of the more dangerous guards in Pancras. Probably from being one of the poorer wrestlers at the Lion's Den. Interesting transition there. Manabu Yamada tried to dive straight into side control. Frank went to a Texas cloverleaf and is now sitting back on a straight ankle lock. Manabu Yamada's pulling that leg up. I don't know if that's actually what you want to do. I think he's trying for a calf crush. Or a knee separator, if you want to use that particular terminology. Now he's trying to toe hold Frank. Frank's pulling himself back onto Yamada's back and now has it with one hook. Manabu's gone to turtle. Cool little fucking grappling here. Both of these guys are exciting to watch almost always. The only boring match I remember Manabu Yamada having was the 30-minute match against Ken Shamrock again in the King of Pancras tournament. And that was more Ken controlling than it was Manabu Yamada not doing anything. Although Frank has got a solid body triangle now. What Yamada's trying to do is he's trying to ankle lock Frank on the body triangle side. You see there how he's pinched Frank's foot between his legs, but Frank don't give no shits and he's just working on the choke. The choke that is on Manabu Yamada's chin. Frank's gone to seatbelt to work off the defense of Yamada here. Thing about that double ankle control, sort of ankle lock you do when people are on your back is it depends on where their feet are. So if your foot's on your calf, it's painful, but you can deal with it and you're not really doing any damage. Whereas if you got ankle on ankle, you might get your ankles broken. Or if it's ankle in knee, you can work some knee separation. But Frank just seems to have his foot in just the wrong place. So he's dealing with some pain, but he's not going to get finished by it. And the problem is if you do it when you're belly down, you flatten yourself out and you make it much harder to defend much harder to defend chokes. Frank's working forearm on the back of the head, just sort of general nasty catch wrestling shit. It's weird that no one ever sort of talks about learning from Frank Shamrock or Ken Shamrock and talks about learning it as catch wrestling. And I suppose that's understandable because Ken always called it shoot fighting. And I don't know if Frank called it anything other than just submissions in general. Alright, working for an arm triangle here is Frank in this sort of weird mounted body triangle position with his foot on the inside of Yamada's leg. It looks like it's doing a very good job of controlling him. Although it's going to be difficult for them to extract themselves from as they break. As demonstrated by Frank tripping up as he was getting up off of Manabu Yamada. Holy shit, Frank Shamrock is shredded. Oh, high kick from Manabu Yamada, but Frank just completely no-sold it. And it looked like it actually hurt Yamada kicking Frank in the head more than it hurt Frank getting kicked. Sprawl from Frank, nice front headlock, and spinning to the back. And his forearms under the throat here. This is a very Ken Shamrock position here. No hooks, but just working that forearm across and that hard crossface. Yamada's trying to ankle lock Frank, and Frank's kicked straight into body triangle. But Frank has a look of discomfort on his face, but it doesn't seem that he's particularly bothered by that ankle lock. And, you know, some people have very flexible legs. Frank Shamrock was always sort of unreasonably flexible, as I remember. So, I think he would be all right. And he's got that choke there, and Yamada Manaba has burned a rope escape. All right, here we go again. So this fight really puts into focus how undersized Manabu was for Pancras, because Frank Shamrock isn't exactly the world's biggest man. Nice trip there from Frank Shamrock, but Manabu Yamada has managed to turn it over and is now in Frank's guard. But yeah, so Frank Shamrock isn't exactly big. He was sort of 180 pounds. I remember him weighing in. Well, I don't remember him weighing in. I remember seeing the video of him weighing in against. Double wrist lock from Frank. Manabu's reached behind to work the defense and is going to try and roll through to escape it. Oh, and he's sat down on a knee bar. Nice transition from Manabu Yamada. Frank's sort of crumpled him up and crossed his legs over, preventing the knee bar from being finished. What Manabu needs to do, he needs to roll through and take top position rather than trying to separate the knee bar here. Otherwise, he will get flattened out by Frank, as is happening now as we speak. Again, I speak from personal experience. Trying to straighten out a knee bar underneath somebody else when their weight is on you is very, very difficult, especially in an MMA context. It is part of why I lost my first fight. I was trying to force a knee bar underneath somebody and got punched in the face a bunch. Wasn't fun. Alright, Frank's finished that, what I thought was going to happen. He's got a pass. And now, shin on neck ride. Beautiful. I believe, yeah, it's not the first time I've compared Frank Shamrock's grappling to a more methodical Minoru Suzuki. And, yeah, we're seeing that now because he's using knee rides. He even used Minoru's favorite armbar entrance from that knee ride. And he even missed it, like Minoru Suzuki. So, there you go. Alright, forearm choke from Manabu Yamada, and he's tried for a body punch there, and they've been stood up. Body kick from Frank. Palm strike into a clinch. Over under clinch. Oh, nice duck out the back by Frank Shamrock, and he's crumpled Manabu Yamada down. He's got one hook in to attempt to take the back, and he's probably going to get the second fairly soon. He's got that crossface claw grip on Manabu's chin, and so, yeah, Manabu won't be able to roll him off. Manabu's trying to ankle lock Frank again, but Frank's ankles aren't crossed. So he's just in a shit spot, and Frank's gone palm to palm, and now he's gone to traditional rear naked choke grip, although his hand's on top of Manabu's head, so Manabu's able to separate them. Manabu's nearly escaped the back here, but Frank's stuck to him pretty well. Manabu needs to get one of his arms out. Oh, but he's gone back to the ankle lock, which is not what I would have done. Of course, I would be probably definitely submitted by now by Frank Shamrock. So, there you go. Back to the traditional rear naked choke grip from Frank, but his arm is in front of Manabu's head, so it's fairly easy to pull down and defend. Alright, Manabu's flat now. He's still trying to ankle lock Frank Shamrock, but it's not going to work for him. In fact, Frank looks particularly comfortable. Ooh, hard body punch from Frank there. Another hard body punch from the back here by Frank. Oh, and the forearm on the back of the neck, very uncomfortable. And he's just grinding on poor Manabu Yamada's face. Good hand fighting from both guys. Frank's probably going to switch to... Oh, he's tried to switch to an armbar here. Now he's going to rear triangle. Now he's gone to the armbar, and he's going to give that a go. Manabu's done a good job of recovering his head, and now he's diving on the straight ankle lock. As you saw in the introductory video, that is how he beat Frank Shamrock last time, with a belly down straight ankle lock. But he did not have Frank's hip secure, so the moment Frank was able to turn back on top, he took topside control. And to shin on neck ride, my personal favourite horrible place to be on the bottom. Good palm strike from Frank, and that drew a noise out of the crowd. I don't think it was one of happiness. Back to the choke, and he's got the forearm behind the head, and so Manabu Yamada forced to burn another rope escape.
10分経過10 minutes pass.
And that palm strike on the bottom has opened up Manabu Yamada's nose. Some Japanese women in the background looking very lustfully at Frank Shamrock's body. Understandably, because that was a lean looking dude. Backstanding, nothing much going on. Winging slap from Frank Shamrock directly into the clinch, over under clinch. Maybe we will see a lateral drop from one of the boys. Or, once again, that duck under attempt from Frank, and he's managed to take mount straight from it. Oh, hard palm strike from Frank. Frank was one of the better ground and pound guys in Pancras. He learned the utility of it against Alain Goez. Oh, Manabu's gone belly down, giving his back up to Frank again. Dangerous spot, because Frank had a great rear naked choke. Back on top of the head, so Manabu's going to peel it down and prevent that choke from being finished. Back on top of the head again. And Manabu Yamada has burned another rope escape. Frank Shamrock is absolutely killing it in this match. And Manabu's nose is opened up again, so we might get a shot of the lustful Japanese women staring at Frank once again. Or not. Of course, this is not the worst beating that Manabu Yamada has taken. He did, of course, get butchered by Semi Schilt recently at Pancras Truth 5. And he had that kickboxing match against Maurice Smith where he nearly got murdered at the 1995 anniversary show. I don't know who the yellow card was for, but it was for somebody. Frank moving around loosely as usual. Manabu's trying to feint to get in on some strikes. Spinning back kick from Manabu right in the liver, and that took the wind out of Frank. Good palm strike from Manabu. He's got a bit of a comeback going here. This is that hope spot. Oh, body kick from Frank. Ah, capture suplex attempt from Manabu Yamada, but he has fucked it, and Frank is now on top on his back. If this were a UWF match, that would have been the finish, because Manabu Yamada would have hit that capture buster, and Frank Shamrock would be knocked unconscious. But unfortunately, this is not the UWF, and Frank Shamrock ain't no bitch. So now he's on top of Manabu Yamada's back. This actually does feel kind of like an Akira Maeda match. Sort of one of Maeda's matches against Volkan, losing a lot of submission points and then hitting a spinning back kick in his capture suplex to get the win. Nice hand control from Frank Shamrock here. Of course, Manabu Yamada not getting the win with the capture buster though. Nice hand control. Back to the choke goes Frank. Manabu's peeling it off, but he's not being able to get his other hand involved. He's going to try again, peel it off. Oh, come on, Manabu, you can do it. Oh, that's it, he's tapped. That is the end of the match. Frank Shamrock is our winner, and Manabu Yamada has taken a bit of a beating. So that is it for the first round of the Neo Blood tournament. I will not do a review until we finish the complete event, which will be in a little while. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you next time for some of the second round matches, the semi-finals of the Neo Blood tournament.